Alright, so this is going to be an example of how to do the exterior view. So the first thing that I would do is I would, if this had a load selection, I would come here, select load selection, and oh look, it did create the load selection. So I got the load selection. I'm going to copy my file, press Control N to get a new paper, bring that in, boom. Or I could just go ahead and stay in that same viewport, copy this, turn that off, press Control Shift I. I'm going to delete that, right? And then I am going to go online or go to a saved image. So I'm just going to straight up just say sky. Anything pop out to you? I actually have really good ones on my thing, but this one would probably work pretty good. Right? So save image as, put it where you want to see it. Bam. And then I would open up the file to the JPEG that you just saved, or one that you stored, one of your favorites. Over time, you'll have your own favorites, and you'll start to save them. So this file is really big. So I'm just going to press Control T, scale it down a little bit. Okay. And then what I would also do is dull it down a little bit. So if you want to see how that would look, like that, push this one behind it, and then I would either go like this, you know, so that it's not so saturated, you know what I mean? And then I would go here, press Control L, I would lighten up my render, always do my levels, right? So that would be kind of how like I would do this as a standalone, and then I would come and go to my where all my trees and stuff are located. So I'm just gonna, get a couple trees, maybe that looks cool, something like that. Grab a tree, bam, bring it in. Put it on top of everything. So I would actually start from up top, go like this. And then I would probably make this one much bigger. I might even put one over on this side. Right, something like that, so that these ones get smaller as they go back, right? That's how I would do like a standalone. I would start off and I would make sure that I got the sky in there as your number one, and then you put foliage in there. Put bushes, stuff like that. So that's as a standalone. As a photo collage, I would then, so you can press Alt, I'm sorry, Alt, and it selects only the thing that you have your eyeball on. You can click it and hold down Alt, and it'll just go like that. Then what I would do is I would go here. I would put a soft selection on it, so I'd put like a 15, so that when like you select it, it's not like a hard line. Press Control C. Go to your image, right? And then I'll press Control V. And then I would scale it properly. Right? And then I would put the transparency down so I could see it. Rotate it so that it's proper. Boom. And then I would bring it up just a little bit. I would take my time and Photoshop this properly, which this is just a quick example. And then what I would also do is I would get the erase tool. Oops. E. Oops. E. Sorry. And then if you press brackets, left or right, it increases your size. So, oops, sorry. So, get out of this thing. You can see how you can push the brackets and it makes it bigger or smaller, right? And then I also want my opacity to be like 50, so I can start to erase. This is why you put that grass in there, so you can slowly fade it in, you know what I'm saying? You can also make it bigger, make the opacity more or less. I would actually Photoshop these poles out of the way. Okay. And then what I would do, once I'm done with that, bring this thing up to 100. And then now that I could see it a little better, get these things. Okay. And then what I would do next is, oops, I would go into here, grab all my trees that I put in, right? Link the layers. Bring up my path. That's it there. And I would do a hybrid of the two, so it would be like real and fake, you know? totally, right? And um, then I would crop it. Right? And then I would go into it, and I would Photoshop these out. So I would go like this. Oops. Make this thing back to 0. And then, oh, my AutoCAD's saying some weird stuff. And I would, so back to this. Sorry for getting distracted. I would come into here. I would put my marquee tool on. So press L. Sorry, M. Or I'm going to do my lasso. So I'm going to go here. Click this. Right? And then what I'm going to do is create another layer. I'm going to use the clone tool. So it's S. And essentially if you press Alt, it's going to take from here, right? So it's going to take from this spot, and it's going to copy it, and it should be on all layers. Oh, put it on all layers. So it'll give you like a preview. Yeah, thank you. It's a clone. What happened? S. All right, man. Good night. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna finish it up. So if you guys need to take off, go ahead. It's cool. So I would do this, and I would do it carefully all the way up. So I would come in here. I would make this smaller. You know what I mean? Take my time to make sure that it's right. Etc. Um, I might leave this one in. So that's kind of like, and then what I would do is I would probably crop it so that like it's like that. You know what I mean? So it's there, but it's like you're focusing on it 100%. So I'm going to save this as a separate file. It's PDF on my desktop. Save this one as a PDF. Hey, you know what I'm going to do actually? I am going to make this layout here. So I'm going to press Control N. I'm going to put inches. I'm going to put 24 by 36. 36. 150 megapixels. Oh, shucks. Image, canvas size. Okay. And then I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to go, merge all visible. Bring this in there. Then I'm going to get here, merge visible, or what you could do is just open up the file. Then what I would do is I would compose my board, figure out like where your edges will be, and then I would put your money shot here at the top left. You could, this is totally designed now. You could do it however you feel would be the best. Something like that. And then what I would do is I would get my floor plans. I would make them ancillary to the drawings. Something like that. Or you can always make these much smaller. Have them here. And then you can have your two renderings like this. And then I would name your project, so everybody has to name it. Do the address, 7, or let's see. Make sure you're writing in black. You could change the color. You can design it all fancy if you'd like. Vista Del Mar, right? And then I would name each rendering. So I would name this like perspective, or you can make fancy names like perspective, from ocean, from the ocean, or just make up creative names for them. Make sure that all this stuff is straight. So use the rulers. You can just drag them out here. Oops. So essentially, that's how your board should look. It should be 24 by 36. Please have 3 renderings. So you can have, an exterior, 2 exteriors, and an interior, or whatever 3 you'd like. And then try to have at least 1 floor plan on there, and print it out on regular paper, and have it mounted to foam core. If you can't mount it to foam core, at the least, please just print it out, and so that we can pin it up at 4 o'clock on next Sunday. If you have any questions, please give me a call. Thank you very much.